Head-to-Head Sports Talk starts now.
Welcome, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Head to Head Sports Talk. I'm Faith Daniels, and these are my co-hosts, Rome Lewis, Jared Brown, Kenny Rogers, and Kyle Steed. Head to Head Sports Talk is a show where we talk about various sports subjects. I pick the sides, I pick the topic, and these guys, they duke it out. So let's get right into it. Okay, so our first topic of the day is, are professional athletes overpaid? It's always a subject of debate. So we're going to tackle it today. Kyle, Kenny, you guys have that they are overpaid, all right? Jared, Rome, you guys have that they aren't. Cool? You guys can go first.
The simple choice today is that they're not overpaid.
Absolutely not.
The reason why I say that they're not overpaid is because we as the people, we generate the market on what they actually get paid. A lot of people tend to complain about, hey, this amount of money is going to the athlete, but we're not factoring in, we're not taking responsibility that most of the time when they're getting paid, it's because we want to go to the events. We take the time out of our checks to go to these events. That a $75 to $100 ticket to us to see our favorite athlete is nothing. So the reason why this market is skyrocketing, if we can pay somebody like LeBron this next year, probably coming up close to $200 million, is because every time LeBron James is in our city, as we are in Philadelphia, it's selling out because people want to see LeBron James or people want to see the name brand star. So that's the reason why I feel that they're not overpaid, because we're pushing that market to be so high.
Right, well, that's where the question comes in. Why do we continue to push it to be that high though? Mm-hmm. Why do we, as a consumer, why do we accept how much it is now that, you know, sports events, the price of the tickets have gotten so high? Why do we accept that and pretty much, you know, say that we're okay with paying a trip, a football game? You want to take a family of 5 to a football game? It's like taking them to Disney World. You know what I mean? It really is though. Like, and we continue to pay these prices, which the owners are saying, okay, if they're fine with paying this, then we'll continue to boost it. We'll continue to boost it. And that's what drives the revenue, to your point, what drives the revenue that allows athletes to be paid that amount. But when you look at what these athletes are actually doing compared to some of the other, salaries of people in positions such as doctors, lawyers, even the president makes $400,000 a year.
Right.
The lowest, I believe it was the lowest paid at the average NBA player on the bench that's not even making a contribution makes more than that. What is he doing that's allowing him to make that type of money over the leader of our nation?
But to that point, Condi, so what we pay for the games, but we don't see how much time that they practice, number one, that they practice with their team, how much time they're spent away from their family on big holiday. I feel like that's all stuff that you have to put into account. And go ahead, real quick.
So my question is this. I understand the president gets paid $400,000. I feel like it should be boosted up a little bit. But let's get into the depths of this. Does the president have to wake up every morning and say to himself, hey, if I blow out my knee, I can't provide for this country no more? If I go down the lane and take a hard one to the chest, is this going to be over? If I go across the middle, can I provide anymore?
The thing about, hold on, I'll let you go, Kyle. But to that point, every other sport but the NFL is guaranteed money. So if LeBron James blew his knee out this morning, yeah, he's still going to provide for his family, and he already made more than the average person is going to make in your lifetime.
But we're talking about a profession that they work their life for. So say you're in your rookie deal. Say LeBron James is in his rookie deal, and we're looking at Ben Simmons. God forbid that something like that with that injury can affect his entire career. That rookie contract is not everything that his full potential that he worked up his entire life to play is not there.
Here's why I say athletes are overpaid. To your point, somebody's in there, they work their life for it. It's the same as a surgeon. So if there's a doctor who's a surgeon and he breaks his hands, he might not ever be able to be a surgeon again. Okay. He's providing for his family. He's worked his entire life to do the same thing. One freak injury can take him out. He's actually doing something that makes a difference. If LeBron James stopped playing basketball today, it doesn't change anything I do. It doesn't change anything anybody does. It changes the way we're entertained, but it doesn't change your everyday life. But if you need a surgery and the surgeon breaks his hand, now what are you going to do?
But to argue what you just said, a surgeon doesn't work his whole life to be a doctor.
They go to school.
He works a lot, but LeBron, when he came into the NBA, he was 18 years old, correct? So you could say 12 years. So since he was 6, he worked to that point, and then from 18 to 31 or however old he is, he's worked to become the greatest player in the NBA. So say 25 years of his life, he's put hard work and dedication towards that, and it shows that's why he gets paid that much.
Okay, but when you talk about LeBron James brings what's called basketball-related income into the sport. What does Nikolai Skeetis-Vili bring? What does Dwayne Shinchizis bring? What does Popeye Jones bring? Nothing. These are guys who've all made $7, $8, $9, $1 million, $700,000, $900,000 a year, $1 million. They're making way more than the doctors. I don't care if Popeye Jones plays, and neither do you. We can't tell you who Popeye Jones has ever played for. That's the point. So we can't look at it at the highest point of the spectrum. LeBron James is an anomaly. He is basketball right now. He shouldn't be making more than Popeye Jones shouldn't make more than the president. Shouldn't make more than doctors and attorneys
that we
who are out there saving. Nobody goes to see Popeye Jones.
I have a question for you, and you can feel free to answer this. Are there bad basketball players, bad football players that you feel as if shouldn't be in the league? Correct. Mm-hmm. Why are we acting as if there are no bad lawyers out here? Why are we acting as if there are no bad doctors? Everybody in every profession does not deserve what they're making.
Hence shows like the show Botched, where you see bad plastic surgeons who end up going to go.
What we're talking about are the athletes overpaid. When you take a look at what they actually do, I understand, you train, you got to keep yourself in tip-top shape, you got to do all those things, and that's important. But at the same time, is it really worth? Right. You talk about baseball players. Right. Baseball players' careers are, they're the longest because it's less stress on your body. And we're talking about, they pretty much took the top off of the salary when A-Rod was getting like $150 million to stand at first base and catch and make 3 outs an inning.
But my thing with
this is what we're talking about. Are they overpaid? Your point was, as fans, we dictate that. So as fans, if people stop saying, if you're like, look, we're not going to go to the games because each year you're giving us the same product. You're not giving us anything different, but you keep raising the price on them each year. And it's the owners that are that control that. It's strictly the owners that control what the price, how much they're going to pay these players, and what it's going to cost.
We determine that.
So it's up to the hospitals to determine how much the doctors get paid. It's up to every other profession that they are employed with to dictate how much they get paid. My thing is, with somebody in a profession that's a professional sport, the thing about it is, as fans, we tend to think they're overpaid, but if it was so easy, anybody on the stage would play that sport. And if it was so easy for that dedication to be done, we would all be professional. Everybody at this table, I would guess to believe that you wanted to be a pro athlete.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, the amount of dedication that every player has put in, the odds don't match up to the amount of people that made it. So with that being said, we're taking away from the work that this person put in for that profession. And we can't down it because somebody moves the price up. We don't down doctors because they make a certain amount. Why are we downing somebody that's invested their lifetime into doing something?
We're not really downing them.
All right, fellas, give me your final thoughts, all right?
I just feel as if we as consumers, if we want to keep paying those prices, we can't say they're overpaid. That's just my feeling. My feeling is that an athlete puts the same amount of work for their profession, and they're not overpaid. They're working their hardest.
I feel like with the athletes, I feel like athletes are overpaid because they're putting they're working forever to do it, but what they're doing doesn't do anything other than entertain you. So do I feel like they're overpaid to an extent? Yes. A doctor saves lives, an attorney can help save lives, police officers put their lives on the line. Basketball players aren't really putting their lives on the line.
That's a good point. It's strictly entertainment. That's what they provide is the entertainment. They don't provide anything else to. They don't have any other benefit to us as the consumer other than to entertain. And if we're putting a price tag on it, how do you say that this entertainment is worth, courtside seats, thousands of dollars versus any other entertainment that you might, partake in? So.
Okay. All right, so the guys are going to let me know what they really think after this commercial break.
I've always been drawn to hands. I think it's because it's the way that we touch people. I have this theory that if one person can go out of their way to show compassion, it could start a chain reaction. Sometimes I don't understand why having a walk with God is so hard for me. Why do you hang around those guys? They're bullies. Is that what you want to be known for?
Later, lame-o.
I'm not like my friends.
Are you spiritual or something?
I just want to live my life for Jesus and care about people. Hey, can I help you?
No.
Come on, you must need something.
I can take care of myself.
I'm not so sure.
What's up, 4-Eye?
I thought it was going to be different this year.
Is this some kind of prank?
I want to be a light, but it feels so dark.
Life's gonna be hard sometimes, but he's there. As hard as that is to grasp, he's in control.
You're never gonna change what's happening in there. It's just the way the world is.
Well, I want to change the world. Compassion is the greatest form of love that humans have to offer. Test it out for yourself and see the difference that it can make in the lives around you. Tomorrow's not a promise, but it's a chance. You just might start a chain reaction. Jesus gave his life for me, and I'll give my life to him.
Welcome back. All right, fellas, you're going to let me know what you really think about athletes being overpaid. Rome.
Just one simple point, then I'm, slide to the left. But when LeBron went to Miami, his wife made like a little juice spot or something like that. Believe they made a couple more stores, jobs. When LeBron came back to Cleveland, businesses started flourishing like you haven't seen in years.
It's true.
That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. I think they're not overpaid, man. I respect what they do, the time they put in for their profession. Love the game, love the hustle.
Kenny.
I do believe they're overpaid. No disrespect to them and their craft, and I think they should be compensated for what they do. But it's gotten to the point where it's a little over the top with the amount of money that some of the athletes are making for what they do. So I think they're overpaid.
I think some of them are overpaid. So the superstars, I feel like they drive the sport. They are the market. So I don't feel like they're overpaid. The bench players, like Elton Brand, his last year was this year, or last year. He scored 82 points in 82 games and grabbed like 8 rebounds and made $800,000. I think I could have got 82 points in 82 games if you gave me a shot. He's overpaid. That's what I'm talking about. At the low end of the spectrum, they're absolutely overpaid.
Can't even bring up the fact that Floyd Mayweather made like $30,000 a second in his last fight or something like that. That's crazy.
I'm not here to judge you, Floyd.
$30,000
You really think you can
a
make
second.
You think you can get 82 points?
All right, well, fellas.
I think I get, yeah. 82?
Well, listen.
Maybe.
I agree with Kyle. I think that some athletes are overpaid. You know, some people are complete trash and get $2 million. I'm just saying.
RG3.
Overpaid.
Yeah, I'm still ride for my Redskins, but he'll play with us no more. But I'm just saying, some players are complete trash and getting millions of dollars when you have other people out here working hard every day of their lives and they get no money.
Shout out to Brian Scalabrine.
All right, so we'll be changing topics after this commercial break.
Check out Divine Cuts in Newcastle, Delaware, promoting a family, faith-filled environment. Call or book your appointment online today.
Welcome back. We're now going to look at who is the best Olympic athlete between Phelps and Bo. All right? So, Kyle, Kenny, you guys going to get Bo. Okay? Rome, Jared, you guys are going to get Phelps.
Okay.
All right? You guys went first. Let's go, Kyle and Kenny.
Well, I feel like Usain Bolt is the greatest Olympian of all time, only because he dominates in exactly what he does. Like, he stays in his lane. That race that he runs, no one can beat him in it. Michael Phelps' gold medals are, don't get me wrong, Michael Phelps is an amazing Olympic athlete.
Watch what you say.
But what he does is he gets gold medals in team sport. Like, they'll do like the relay, where Michael Phelps will get a gold medal because of him and his teammate. Or there's multiple events.
Right, and he had the opportunity
So it's
to
not
get more than a lot of other Olympic athletes. So that, adds to the fact that the medal count.
And Usain Bolt runs one race.
He runs.
He runs 2 races. I'm sorry, you're right. He runs 2, and he dominates both of
I
them.
think he runs more than 2.
But everything he runs, he dominates. Michael Phelps does like the backstroke, and he has the.
And dominates it.
You know what?
Talk,
I know the pool was not really appealing to you right now because the way that you said he does the backstroke. But
he does the backstroke,
he does the
breaststroke, the freestyle.
I've always been taught that there's no I in team, but there's an M and an E. And Michael Phelps is a record holder in the 100-meter butterfly, 200-meter freestyle. And I know that you're saying these are team things, but when Michael Phelps jumps in the pool, you know it. I know it.
Kobe Bryant knows it.
It's not close. This man has 28 medals. 23 of them happen to be gold. We all love gold in America, don't you, Ken? I know you do.
Right.
This guy right here, when he jumps in the pool, just like you saying, but it's a little bit different. It's resistance. I can't see the people. I can't see the people I'm running with. When I dive in, I'm focused.
Usain Bolt doesn't see the people he's running against either because they're so far behind
But
him.
listen to this, right?
And the
Listen
fact
to
is,
this.
you probably don't see Michael Phelps either, but
Team-
when Usain Bolt is on TV, you know you tuning in.
Team
Everybody not seeing
USA.
every
Team
play.
USA could be down, let's say 50 meters. Let that boy Phelps jump into the pool.
Come on.
Let that boy Phelps jump
That's
into
a
the
little bit of a stretch.
I don't
That's
know.
a stretch.
50 meters.
I've seen some great things from Michael Phelps jumping into the pool. But my thing is, these last few races, I don't know if you've seen the 100 meters, but he pushed it a little close this year.
If you watch the same thing that I watched,
Okay.
Usain Bolt has like 7 gears, and he was in gear 5 the whole way, and everybody else was pushing the limit, and then he just turned it on at the end.
know what's-
he plays around with these other guys.
You know what's crazy, kind of? Usain Bolt, you said, has 9 gold medals. I would go on a limb and say, Michael Phelps has probably 10 individual gold medals. He does a lot of team stuff, but let's not act like he does not do individuals and dominate that.
Michael
Only
Phelps,
reason
Michael
people
Phelps
wa-
has more gold, has more medals because he has more opportunities to get
Exactly.
medals.
That's
If
why- but that
Usain
doesn't
Bolt
make
had
a-
the same exact opportunities, he'd have just as many medals or
can't
more.
speak on
I have a question. So we talk about Usain being great, Usain doing this. For Michael Phelps' country, he helped them win gold medals. He helped them as a team, and he helped them individually. Please, somebody give me an example of why Usain Bolt never stretched himself as Jamaica wanted him to run the 400 meters.
That's not his event.
No. They said he's ran the event multiple times.
But have you? He hasn't done it in competition. If you're not going to do it inside in competition before you go to the Olympics, why would you do it in the Olympics? That's his event. You stay in your lane.
It doesn't
Michael
sound like a
Phelps is
team
stretching.
player.
Michael Phelps is
Doesn't sound like a
stretching.
team player.
4 by
He
1
runs
ain't
an
a team.
individual race. He's
4 by 1
known
ain't a
for,
team.
but he's known for the individual
Michael
race that he
Phelps
runs.
is known for everything that he does. And the only reason people watch swimming at the Olympics, say the name, Michael Phelps.
Oh, you got Brian Lochte.
But that's my thing.
Made the way.
Hold on.
Michael
just as
Phelps
good.
made the way
Hold
for
up, hold up
Lochte.
real quick.
He's
Go ahead.
not just as good. He doesn't have 23 gold
He
medals.
started later.
But this is my question.
And he doesn't do as many events. That's the thing. We just because he has more gold medals doesn't mean better. I know we're just talking about Phelps and Bolt, but Phelps has 23 gold medals. And Michael Jordan has what, 1 or 2? Does that make him a better athlete? No, Michael Jordan only has one sport he can
and
compete
the
in.
U.S. has always dominated swimming. They've always dominated men's swimming. Jamaica hasn't always dominated track.
They haven't. They only started
Hold on, real
dominating
quick.
once
Let
Usain started
Jared get his point in.
My thing is, Jamaica has always had sprinters. Asafa Powell was one of the top ones before. Just because you haven't been at the top doesn't mean that you don't have sprinters. But let's get into it, because I don't want to make up a story like your boy Lockley did. We don't want to do all that. Let's get to the
That's
facts.
actually your boy.
No, that's your boy.
No, our boy's Bolt.
Lockley, your boy. Let's talk about him. My thing is, when he was in there, he was the one in the U.S. competing with Michael Phelps. So a lot of people thought he was going to overtake Michael Phelps. That's what a lot of people thought. But Michael Phelps, instead of succumbing to that pressure, hopped in the pool and did exactly what he was supposed to do. How many Olympics straight has this been for Michael Phelps? Is this his second or is it third? I think
would
it's
say third.
I want to say it's third, but I want to say it's third. And every one, he was the man to beat. And every one, he showed up. That's what I'm saying.
Wasn't the guy running for Jamaica in the same case?
I don't know.
Let's think about the actual sport, though.
If we're thinking about the sport, when you say that track and field, he had contenders. Justin Gatlin, he had the young boy that was running from Canada that was actually a contender. When he hopping into the pool with Michael Phelps, you're going for number 2, boss.
Sir, this is a boss statement. Talking about boss, this is a boss statement. Fastest man in the world. No one have you ever heard anyone say
Fastest man
fastest
in the
swimmer?
pool?
No.
Fastest swimmer in the world. Nobody cares about the fastest swimmer in the world. This man is the fastest man in the world.
You'll never see somebody else do what Michael Phelps did in the pool.
But Wheaties seemed to care about what he did in the pool.
That's fine.
Those other advertisers seem to care about what he did in the pool. Why are we saying that nobody cares?
I think
you could have went down. You could have went down aisle 5
So-
and got a box of that
so
Michael
before-
Phelps Wheaties.
All right, hold up. Go ahead,
Usain
Kyle.
Bolt came along, the U.S. men dominated that same track and field event. Jamaica had one team that competed for like a medal, and they won silver until Usain Bolt came. Bolt came, it's gold. That's all he does.
If you haven't watched, I've seen Usain Bolt get beat.
Not in the Olympics.
Oh no! In the World Championship, Usain Bolt has been.
The topic is Olympics.
Yeah, the topic is Olympic. We're acting like
I'm sure somebody beat Michael Phelps in a rec league pool. We're not talking about that.
Michael Phelps has 66 gold medals if you want to talk about all that, but I just kept that.
You mean team?
66 gold medals as a whole.
Michael Phelps has 66. You just said 20.
In the Olympics, he has 23.
But we're talking
in everything 66.
We're talking about the Olympics.
Right. We're talking about best Olympic athletes.
Usain has 18,000 track championships in high school. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the Olympics.
But if we're talking about the Olympics and we're talking about gold medals, how is it even close? And you're saying this guy's the world's fastest man. He's this, he's that. The medals aren't close. Then you're going to tell me next, team. Did he have to hop in the pool? Yes, right? He had to put on his Speedo like the next man, right?
He's
Better
had
put his
more
Speedo.
You're right.
Right?
He's had
Because
more
he made opportunities
opportunities.
for himself.
No, that's not. It's just the way that the sport is set up.
So-
it's just the way the sport.
so
Does that mean more medals? Does that mean you're a better athlete?
If you could dominate multiple events, would you not dominate multiple events?
Does more medals mean better athlete?
In the Olympics,
So
it does.
so what you're telling me?
doesn't. Yeah,
so
No,
what
it
you're,
doesn't.
I got a question.
Boxers work, however long they need to train for one gold medal in 4 years, and they'll never go back. That doesn't mean they're not a better athlete than them. They've had more opportunities to do it.
So if he has more opportunities and he's doing more, does that mean he's doing stuff as a better athlete? So he has more opportunities because he does more for
No,
his
there's just
team
more
and
events.
more.
No, but
There's just more events for what you do.
Swimming has more events than
Usain
track.
Bolt he could enter in more. How many?
It's a lot more
There's
races.
the 4x1. There's the what? I don't know, but let's not act like there's not a lot of things that he could run. Let's not act like there isn't. He could run the hurdles, but he doesn't.
No, that's not. That's a
Yeah, but
different
that's what I'm
sport.
saying. That's not-
That's a different sport.
track.
All right, well,
It's
fellas.
track and field,
well,
but
fellas.
hurdles is a different sport
Hey,
than sprint.
Kenny,
It's track.
cut it off, fellas. Well, give me your final thoughts, all right? Kyle, Kenny.
I feel like Usain Bolt's better.
Definitely Usain Bolt. Definitely. I mean, just the sport itself. I think that the sport pulls more out of him, shows more of him being an athlete than swimming. I'm not taking anything away from swimming. You need to be an athlete to swim also, but Usain Bolt is the fastest man in the world.
Okay.
That speaks volumes.
Two things. I think Usain Bolt's name kind of plays on him being as good as Bolt, Lightning Bolt. That's cool. I get it. I think that plays on it. Usain Bolt's going to say Michael Phelps is the greatest Olympic, the better Olympian out of the two. 23-9. I don't think that's.
It's this simple. And a lot of people during this whole debate, we've been looking at people saying he has more opportunities, has more this and that. It's a different sport. They both consist of races. And if you put yourself in those races, you have opportunities. Usain Bolt doesn't put himself in those races. That's why the opportunity is not there. Don't penalize a great Olympic athlete that puts himself in position because he's not scared of the moment. Don't do that. Don't disrespect greatness. Michael Phelps.
Well, all right. We'll be back with what these guys think after this commercial break. Welcome back. And these guys are going to let me know what they really think about Phelps or Bolt. Who's the better Olympian? All right, Kenny.
Obviously, Usain Bolt. Hasn't had as many opportunities to win the gold medals. The gold medals make it look like Michael Phelps is that guy, but when you think about what he does and how he dominates in every race and how he's done it, over the course of 3 Olympics, it's definitely Usain Bolt.
Kyle?
I think if you look at everything Usain Bolt has done, what he's brought to the sport, how he's dominated the 200-meter race, like Olympics after Olympics. You look at what Michael Phelps has done, it's easy to see that it's Michael Phelps. I don't know why. I mean, when you swim, you use every single part of your body, every muscle in your body. It's the same kind of training. So I feel like it's Michael Phelps, hands down.
All right.
Sorry, pal.
Rome?
I'm gonna stand by my point. Michael Phelps. Nope. I mean, I didn't watch swimming before Michael Phelps. Probably won't after he's done, unless there's somebody who's, he passes the torch to, but I don't see anybody who he would. Michael Phelps all day.
Jared?
Did you hear the point I made earlier? I think you did. That's why I'm choosing Usain Bolt. Because Usain Bolt gets out on that track. I've never seen a 6'5" guy get out the block like that. Look back at him and say, you can't do nothing about it. Usain Bolt is the man that we know and love. You're the best, Usain.
And I'm gonna have to go with my man, Michael Phelps. You know, swimming is in track too, they're both, you know, they put a lot on your body in what you do, but Michael Phelps, he's the man, I'm sorry. He's, like you said, 23 gold medals. He's been doing it for a while, and he's still consistent. He still gets in that water and is beating people. So we're gonna switch gears after this commercial break.
Hello, I'm Robert Hawkins, Senior Counsel at Hawkins Counsel Group. We're a full-service law firm with a focus on excellence and service to our clients. Our practice areas include intellectual property, which includes patents, trademarks, and copyrights. We handle both commercial and residential real estate transactions. We help you with your business formation for both for-profit and not-for-profit entities. We do estate planning, including wills, trusts, medical directives, and power of attorney. Our practice also includes licensing, contracts, mediation, and more. Even if you're not sure we handle your area of need, give us a call. We will access our network of attorneys on your behalf. Call us anytime at 302-635-1511. That's 302-635-1511. Or visit our website at hawkinscounselgroup.com.
Yeah, I got it. I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, go. Welcome back. We're going to switch to college sports and talk about a topic that's always debated, always discussed. Should college sports players be paid? Okay? Rome, Jared, you guys are going to go for it that they should be paid. Kyle and Kenny, you guys are going to go for it that they shouldn't. Okay? You guys got first.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna start off with this point, and I'm gonna kick it straight to Jared. NCAA makes about $1 billion a year. Oh. $1 billion. What?
A bill.
Go ahead, Brown. That alone.
It makes a bill. First off, you see the shirt I got on right now. Auburn made a little cheese off of this. And my thing is, the reason why certain universities can up the tuition, the reason why certain schools can do what they do is because of the sports programs. When you look at certain sports players and what they generate for the university, it's not even fair to what they're actually getting. The thing about it is they show you the nice facilities, they show you the things like that, but we have athletes that are putting in 43 hours a week on, that's a full-time job, and they're expected to do their schoolwork, they're expected to do everything else like a regular student, but I'm bringing you billions of dollars for off of my likeness that you're just getting paid from and just sitting back and saying, hey buddy, get out there and play. Like, I don't understand that point. I just don't get it.
Well, let me say this. So, you know, this is, once again, it's an argument that we've been having for a while, and you know, everybody has their reasons for believing it. But when you look at what universities offer these athletes, when you look at what they offer these athletes, they give them the exposure that they're going to use further in their career. This is something that a normal student doesn't get. Right. You're on campus, you're on CBS every week, they're preparing you for your career down the line, NCAA athletes, as an athlete. And if you're not an athlete, they pay for your, if you're not an athlete that's going to go pro, should I say, you've been given a tuition that's going to allow you to further your career down the line if you don't become a professional athlete. You can make the argument that, regular students, they're on scholarship, this, that, and the other, but they don't have the same luxuries as college, as the athletes do. Right. The athletes have the state-of-the-art facilities. They're providing that for them. Your regular student, where are you going? You're going to work out in the student work weight room, right?
Let's not
But
act
the
like
athlete is going.
Let's not act like that facility where they work out is not amazing. You have you seen a Kentucky workout? Like
We've seen it.
Like let's not act like those facilities aren't amazing.
Right, but guess what? Those facilities that provided those Kentucky athletes a way of life that they're living now. Yeah, John Wall used that Kentucky house that he lived in, but look at John Wall's house now.
I'm talking about the regular students like us. Let's not act like those workout facilities. I mean, they're not just as nice, but they're still top of the line stuff.
Number one, those workout facilities that these kids have, period, the regular ones, are paid from what the athletes do on the field, on the court. Another point is, like let's just look at it as we'll just be flat out honest. If this thing is supposed to be a not paid position thing, period, why are the coaches getting paid? In high school, are the coaches getting paid a meal?
They're getting paid. Their positions, they're paid positions.
But this is what I'm saying. If the coach is getting paid to provide a service with the same thing that a college athlete is doing, why isn't the athlete getting paid? And if we're looking at it, let's look at it this way. When March Madness hits, those kids are missing class.
Okay.
Those kids are missing out on the thing that you say you're providing to them.
No, they provide them with tutors to go on the road with them. They're not missing. They
Not
still
the
get
regular
their.
students.
Let's do this.
They're not missing class.
Hold on, but let's do this. They're missing class. They're taking them out of class for those bowl games. If they make a bowl game, they're missing class. So let's not make it seem like everything that they're doing, they always want to put it up in lights that, oh, we're giving you the education, we're doing this, we're doing that. That's not what it's really about, because every time something is going for a game, if March Madness hits and you're going deep into that run, you're missing class. You're missing.
But you're not. You're still getting your. They send tutors with them. They have people that are on the road with them.
And these athletes that are missing class, so if John Wall, when he was in the tournament, missed class, that June, he went to the draft. Thank you, Kentucky. Like, so you're saying like he missed class, like he needed that.
Thanks for bringing that up. Hold on. Thanks for bringing that up.
Here's why college athletes shouldn't be paid. Because who do you pay? Do you pay, if it's 15 people on the team, do you pay the guy that's redshirting because he's on the team? Because you can't pay one college athlete and not pay the bottom of the college athlete. You have to pay them all.
How's that fair? How's that fair? You're the same student athlete. You should all be paid the same then, right?
Now if you pay, wait. Now if you pay superstar athletes, Now you're paying. Now it's differential treatment. You can't pay the superstar and say, "Oh, you're bringing money into the university, but I'm not going to pay the guy that redshirted." You can't do that. That's not fair to the students, and people talk about, "Oh, I love college football better than pro football," or "I love college basketball because they don't play for money." Now they would. So where's the purity of the game that people say that they love? You rob the purity of the game. So no longer are they playing, because now what players are going to do is they're going to take games off, take plays off, just like some of the pro athletes do.
And on top of that, listen.
Y'all
So now you got guys.
Can we get a turn and talk real quick?
But listen. On top of that, you got guys nowadays. You're one and done. You're only going because you have to.
Right.
So we're gonna pay you money to come here, use our facility. We're gonna pay you to do that? No. You're getting ready to use us, our name, our facilities, our things to make. Yes. The university. They're gonna use them.
All right, go ahead.
Here we go. It's a funny point that you say that the college level has a sense of purity to it. A college sport has a sense of purity. The last time you will ever play a sport that has purity in it is in high school. If you say college football is pure, it doesn't make sense.
How can you even make that statement? Because even at high school level, it's not. It's impure.
Ken, I got a question for you, Ken. When you're the top person in the country, they look at you as if it's a meat market. They treat you as if you are something that you're actually not. They come to your house. They do all that. What happens when you blow out your knee, Ken?
No love.
Do the letters stop, Ken?
I mean, what is
Do
that?
the letter stop, Ken?
I understand that, but what does that mean?
What is your point by making it? My point is this: it's not pure if they actually don't care about you. If the game doesn't care about you, if you stop playing in high school because of an injury, the letters stop.
Is that not the way? Is that the
So
way of
why
life?
are we calling it pure? If you can't give a university anything, they will take your scholarship, Ken.
Right. If you can't give your employer something, they're
so
gonna
how
take your
is
job.
it pure?
It's the same.
So how? Hold on. So what you're telling me is, if I'm not performing at a certain level, like a professional athlete, you will take something that you promised me 4 years of.
No, they don't
correct.
take- you don't lose
You
your
can
scholarship.
lose your
Wait,
scholarship, Ken.
That's the same. But that's the same thing as a job. If you sign a contract to work at a job,
So it's
there's
a
money
job.
involved.
Listen, you
but
don't.
here's how college athletes are paid. If it's $100,000 to go to North Carolina and I don't charge you and say you can live here, I pay for your meals, I pay for your transportation, I pay for your internet,
Your
your
personal
lights, your
trainers.
cable, your personal
But
trainer.
let's do this. Why is it
I'm paying you.
$100,000, Kyle? Because I perform on the field is why I can charge you $100,000.
No, what about the guys that never get on the field?
Yeah,
They
but
still
they're-
get the
but
same
What
money.
about the guys
Colleges
that
are
get out there
$100,000 for the guy that plays football and that doesn't play football. It's the same.
What about the girls lacrosse team?
Let's do this, right? Let's
All right, hold
do
up,
this.
They
hold
still
up,
get the
fellas.
same
The
scholarship.
reason why
Hey,
girls
fellas,
lacrosse teams
give me your-
can hold on.
give me your
hold on,
final
Vic.
thoughts.
The reason why girls lacrosse teams can have scholarships is because certain organizations like football, like basketball, bring in that money for them. It doesn't even make sense for you to say the game is pure, you call it a job, you go out there, you put out 43 hours, you're supposed to perform in the classroom like a regular student, but it's not work?
Final thoughts.
Like this, right? College basketball is a $3 billion industry, right? The NBA is $5. And they're doing it and not getting paid, and it's like a $2 billion difference.
If you paid college athletes, one, what do you pay them? Two, if you pay them on par with professional athletes, they never become professional athletes. Why? If I'm paid $1 million a year, or $4 million a year, or $3 million a year to play college sport, I'm not going pro. But if I'm paid to play the sport, you're paying me twice. You're paying me, I get paid with exposure. I get paid with all the free facilities, universities, free tuition, and then you're gonna give me money on top of that?
All right. That was their final thoughts. We'll be back with what they really think after this commercial break.
You've been a good enough father. I don't want to be a good enough father.
Let's go, let's go!
Don't quit! Don't quit!
Hey, you know what? I thought your jump roping routine was really good.
I just got a notification that you moved money from our savings into your checking account.
Can we talk about this later? You must be the real estate agent. Well, it's so good to meet you. Let me show you the house.
This is my favorite place in this house. I call it my war room.
You wrote prayers for each area of your life.
Prayer strategy.
I sure could use some of that.
Tony, you should go see her practice tomorrow.
I'm out of town this week.
When were you going to tell me?
I just did.
Tony, that was my favorite rep.
I'm real good. How you doing?
I wish I lived at your house. Whenever my parents are together, they just fight.
Dude, I can't get a pass from you. It'd be easier to baptize a cat.
I just needed to blow off a little steam, okay?
There's one thing we do well. It's fight.
You do not want World War III to break out in your home.
No, I don't.
Just because you argue a lot doesn't mean that you fight well. You got to plead with God so that he can do what only he can do. Then you got to get out of the way and let him do it. You need to do your fighting in prayer.
Keep fighting the good fight. Keep letting your light shine. 'Cause
I've never seen anybody do what you did.
It's time for you to take off the gloves and fight for your marriage.
Keep fighting the good.
Lord, we need an army of believers. Lord, call us to battle. Raise them up, Lord, raise them up.
Fighting the good, fighting the good, fighting the good fight, good fight.
right, so these fellas are going to let me know what they really think about if college sports players should be paid. We'll start with Jared.
Pay the men. Simple as that. Pay them.
Rome?
Camera, this one, Money Manziel, pay him. I'm with it.
Kenny?
Yeah, they definitely should be compensated. But the real issue is the fact that the NCAA is making more money for doing absolutely nothing. You have to understand that the NCAA is the one that's making out on this, not necessarily the universities. That's the real issue. The NCAA serves no purpose. The NCAA should be disbanded, honestly. They serve no purpose. It's the universities that offer all these things, and the NCAA is the one who makes out in it. So that's the real issue.
Yeah, I think you should pay him as well. Rome, you said it's $1 billion. So the NCAA actually has a $11 billion contract with CBS and Turner Sports. So I feel like if the university doesn't pay the player, the NCAA absolutely should pay them something. I don't know how you differentiate it between the stars and the bench players, but if they're doing all of that, they have to be paid something.
And I agree. They should be paid. All right, we'll switch sports topics after this commercial break. All right, we're going to switch sports and go with baseball. Who are the top home run hitters of all time? All right, Kyle and Kitty, go ahead.
So when we talk about home run hitters, you're talking about like Barry Bonds, Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth, A-Rod. I like Barry Bonds. I know he had the whole scandal, but he improved. They improved it. So listen, if you didn't prove it, he's not guilty. Wow. Barry Bonds. Here's another hit. Barry Bonds.
I don't care how big his head got. I mean, you didn't see the needle. You didn't see the needle on there. But the thing is, you actually got to compare. If you talk about home run hitters and you're talking about Alex Rodriguez, Barry Bonds, and you talk about Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth, it's really a debate of pre-drug era. Drug era.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You talk about pre-drug. So Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth, and all those guys, they doing it with, drinking a 6-pack of Schlitz in the clubhouse or something, and they were able to, play at a high level and hit those home runs. These guys came and just took it to a whole nother level. Barry Bonds and Alex Rodriguez. Plus they had the help of, the way the bats were made and the balls being, done up differently. But I mean, I have to say that if Major League Baseball was going to allow it, Barry Bonds, Alex Rodriguez, they put on a way better show. They made it look better on the drugs.
That's what drugs do. Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. They allowed it.
Yeah, the pitchers probably had drugs too.
We're definitely gonna go with Hank.
Easy, if you ask me.
Yeah. If you guys didn't know, and it needs to be proven, went to lids, went to the hat section. Barry Bonds wears a size 9 hat. He used to wear a size 7. Barry Bonds went into the field, and I asked my dad growing up, I said, "Dad, is that Barry?" He said, "No, that ain't Barry, I used to know." My thing is, with Barry and them, he's swinging that bat, and Barry out there looking like a pro wrestler. Like
he got the head of the size of a watermelon.
Yeah, like, come on. But my thing is this. Hank's out there in a generation, where they didn't like us people. Let's just say us people. And Hank's out there with scrutiny. People throwing different slurs and stuff at him. But Hank is consistently swinging that bat.
With no drugs.
With no drugs.
That we know of.
Let's not put Hank on the juice.
That we know of.
Let's not put Hank on the juice.
The people
we
y'all
ain't talking
did,
about the juice.
Hank did play in the 70s. They were real liberal in the 70s.
You talk about A-Rod. You talk about Barry.
Legend.
You talk about Mark McGwire.
I didn't say anything about Mark McGwire.
No, I'm saying, but that time, all that
I
is,
didn't say that.
it's like an asterisk next to it, if you ask me.
That's very true.
Hey, I mean, I respect it because it's probably still hard because you got to focus on the ball a little bit more hard when you got the drugs racing through you. But
allegedly have the drugs racing through. Let's not convict Barry Bonds of what we didn't see him do.
Okay, so let's convict A-Rod because he was convicted and suspended.
Listen, I'm
talking about Barry Bonds here, guys.
Listen, it's a lot of people that's swung the bat in their time that's taken the juice. But my thing is this: when it's simply put down this way, Hank was in an era where the game was pure, where you got your fathers, and it's America's pastime. Hank's out
That's
there.
where it started with Hank Aaron.
When Hank Aaron
Yeah,
hit.
but Barry Bonds and then brought it back.
No.
They had people sitting in front of the
Barry
TV.
Bonds made baseball great again.
Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire. Listen, it don't matter what it was. The Major League Baseball allowed them to do what they did for them years, and it looked good. I ain't gonna lie. That's when I started watching it again. I mean, I watched it early on, but once they started make Sammy Sosa, another one. Once they started, you know what I mean?
Sammy Sosa's not even the same person he was when he played baseball.
All right, well, guys, let me know your final thoughts.
My final thought is Hank Aaron. Barry Bonds, I don't know if he was on the juice or not, but he did swell up like a grapefruit.
I'm going with Barry Bonds. He great eye, great hitter. Barry, but people have to understand, if Barry never got on the drugs, he would have been a Hall of Famer with his numbers that before he started juicing.
That is true.
He
That
would
is
have been
true.
Barry Bonds would have been legit anyway. He just took it to another level when his head got big.
I'm gonna say two things. When you start hitting a home run ball 600 feet, it starts raising some eyebrows. Let's just keep the game in the more pure form. Not saying that they probably didn't do drugs back in the day, but Barry made it what it was, drugs. So let's stay pure, and I'm gonna stay Hank.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna leave it at this.
Here we go.
Growing up, seeing Barry knock that thing into the pond, I loved it.
It was in the boat.
Listen, I've never seen somebody in a boat catch the ball like this. Barry was knocking them things over that stadium into the boats. I'm sorry. I gotta go with Barry, man. He was knocking that thing out the park.
Right? And I'm going to keep it old school and go with my man, Hank Aaron. All right? So, thanks for tuning in again. We'll see you for another episode next time.